Okay guys, today I'm showing you how to do the duplicate stitch, and in repairing you need the duplicate stitch. For example, if you have like a sock like this one, and you can see this is the heel and you have an area here and well a little bit these parts here too, but mainly this one where the yarn is so thin it's like you can see through it actually. And if you leave it like this and wear the sock, then you will get a hole at this area here. So we use the duplicate stitch to reinforce the area and to prevent holes. Also, if you have like a hole somewhere in a garment and you want to repair it with Swiss darning, then you often do duplicate stitch at the beginning and the end of the repair. So it's pretty simple actually, and I will show you how I do it. Okay, so before we actually do the duplicate stitch, we have to look at the loops and the stitches and how they are formed in order to understand what we have to do with the duplicate stitch. So we look at the stitches, and you always have like this is one stitch, one loop, and you see the sides here, and then the yarn goes under the stitch that is above, comes out here, and then it goes under the stitch that is below, and then again goes up under the stitch that is above and goes down under the stitch that is below. And that's just it. That's the way the yarn behaves. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And that's what we are doing with the thread when we are doing the duplicate stitch and reinforcing an area. So I'm using, of course, a contrasting yarn here for you to see what I'm doing. If you want to, you can use a yarn that is similar to the actual knitwear garment that you're repairing. So let's start. Okay, I want to start with this loop, this stitch here. So I have to first look at where the yarn is coming from, and it's coming from the stitch below here. So that's where my needle will come out. And I'm going under and then coming out of this stitch. Pull the yarn through and you leave a little tail here that you can secure later in the back or on the back. And now we do our first stitch. Just look at the yarn, it goes under here, and that's what we do with our needle. We go under the loop, push the needle from the right to the left, pull the yarn through, and then we follow the yarn down under the loops in the row below, again from the right to the left. First stitch done, and that's what we do all the way as far as we want to go. So under the stitch above and following the yarn under the stitch below. Second one. It's as easy as that. Just those two moves and do that repeatedly as long as you want, basically. Okay, now when you're done and you want to change the rows, I'm going to show you how you do that. So, when you want to repair something or reinforce an area, you usually go from the bottom to the top. You can do it from the top down, but it's easier if you go from the bottom and then the rows above. Okay, so now I want to change the rows, and I show you two methods how I do it. Okay, so the first one. With the first one, we kind of do the stitch as we did before, so we go under it here. But then for the second part, we don't go in this direction and push the needle from the right to the left. We actually want to go up. So, and that's how we do it is we look at the stitch, and if you look closely you can see like inside this stitch you can see the thread here that is from the loop below. So the loop below goes this way and under my stitch here, and yeah, you have the thread here from the loop below, and we use that because we take the needle and insert it in the loop below. So this is our one, and you know, here's the middle. We go to the one below, push the needle through under the thread, and come up in our stitch that we just formed here. Go up, pull the yarn, but don't pull too tightly because then this one will get really small. We don't want that. Just leave a little room. And now you can do the row above. And similarly to the one that we just did, we do it the same way, but just we push the needle from the left to the right. So under and push through, pull the yarn, and now follow the yarn under from left to right. Again, left to right. And all the way till we get to this stitch here. Now I want to turn again and go back the other direction. And this time I use a different method. So I could, you know, do the same just like I did here, but I want to do a different method because sometimes I find it a little bit neater and yeah, just nicer than this one. So what I do is I basically do the whole stitch, so above here, and now the bottom one, but instead of coming out at the next stitch here, I go to one more. So not getting out here, but actually here between this stitch and this stitch, just in the space between here. I come out. And now I go to the row above and then insert the needle under the stitch, and I don't come out here, but in this stitch, like this. And then pull the yarn a little bit tighter than you actually would, so that I can see a little bit of it here. But if you lay the whole thing flat, or if you wear it, and even if it's, especially if it's not like a bright yellow on a blue sweater, then you will not be able to see it. And then you can start again and do the same that we did before in this direction. And when you're done, you just pull through, and there it is. That is the duplicate stitch. And as you can see, I think this one looks a little bit neater than this one, because here you always have the left, I don't know, left leg here, the left V part that looks not so neat. I don't know, maybe I'm not good enough at it, but I like this method much more. I think it looks better. And that's the duplicate stitch. I hope it helps. Have fun repairing and see you next time.